Hey, good morning, y'all. John with New York Metro Weather here with an update on Tropical Storm Nicole and what to expect in the New York City metro area. A little bit of a different form of the videos here. We've been doing some shorter form, kind of like social media based videos, but these are going to be a little more in depth, a little more discussion to kind of dive into the meteorology of it for those of you that are interested in it. So, let's get into it. Let's dive into what's going on. So here's Tropical Storm Nicole as of this morning. This is about 9:45 a.m. And you can see a couple things that are happening here. First of all, it's a very small and compact system in the Bahamas, and it's expected to continue to track to the west over the next 12 to 24 hours. It's a little bit devoid of convection on the south side. A lot of the clouds and thunderstorm activity are on the north side. But the system is wrapped up. It's very, very small and tight and compact, and it's expected to move into Florida in the next 12 to 24 hours. Here's the latest from the Hurricane Center. You can see that 12 hours from now, they suggest Nicole will be a hurricane, Category 1 hurricane, as it makes its approach into southeast Florida. Normally, for us in the New York City metro area, this would not be that big of a deal because it's a small, kind of weakish tropical system. And while there's going to be impactful in parts of Florida, it's not going to be overly impactful in the New York City metro. That's not the case here, and one of the reasons is because of the way the system is recurving. The storm itself is going to move through Florida, maybe briefly go back into the Gulf, and then end up closer to like the Florida Panhandle region, and then tracking to the north and east, weakening into a post-tropical system. But the moisture from this storm system, the rainfall from it, is going to begin to spread to the north and east, and it's going to expand rather quickly, and I want to explain to you why. So here's Nicole on the latest model guidance. This is valid Thursday morning. You can see the European model suggests this storm will be crossing through central Florida at this time. It's going to reemerge briefly into the Gulf of Mexico and then begin to move off to the north and east. But notice how much the precipitation from this system, the shield of rainfall, is expanding way to the north. There's a reason for that. It's not just happening randomly. If we go and look at the jet stream, here's Florida on the bottom. Look at this expanding upper level jet, right? This is called divergent flow. So essentially, without getting into too much technical detail, the atmosphere is allowing the precipitation and the lift from this storm to fan out away from the tropical system itself. So we're getting sort of this big expanding canopy of precipitation as the jet expands. Again, it's pretty tight right now, but if you watch what happens over the next 12 to 24 hours, this jet rapidly expands up the East Coast, almost looking it's a pretty beautiful looking jet streak here, and that fans out the lift and the divergence aloft from this system and allows the rainfall to really expand to the north. I mean, you have rain in parts of Pennsylvania and Ohio when the system is still down in Georgia at this time frame. So that is one of the main drivers to the forecast idea that we're going to see rain expand throughout the mid-Atlantic very quickly. And you can really see here on that graphic just how quickly that rainfall expands away from the tropical storm as soon as that those jet dynamics become more favorable for this storm system. So here in the New York City metro area, the timing of this has sped up a bit. So this is now valid at 6 o'clock a.m. on Friday. The models are suggesting that our rainfall will be moving into parts of the mid-Atlantic states. If we look at 1 hour precipitation at that time, you can see the edge of the rain is approaching DC. By the time we get to about 10 a.m. on Friday, it's knocking on the door. So by early afternoon Friday, we're likely looking at periods of rain in the New York City metro area. It previously looked like Friday was going to be an okay day, but now we have clouds and showers coming into the forecast. And if we zoom in on our area, again, this is valid at 1 p.m., we already have rainfall pretty well established here at that time. We'll continue on and off with rainfall pretty much the rest of the day. Friday afternoon and evening looks like a washout at this point. Not a washout in terms of it's going to be a driving, blinding rain, but it's definitely just not going to be pretty out there. And we are looking at pretty much continuous on and off rainfall here through the afternoon and early evening. We'll likely see a break in the rain late in the evening. So this is valid at 12 a.m. And that's because the initial lift from this storm flies off to the north into New England. We talked about those jet dynamics, right? So those don't just stop and stick around the New York City metro. They fly all the way northward. And they go all the way into Vermont and Maine, New Hampshire, late Friday night. And then by the time we get into Saturday morning, we'll likely see one more round of rain come through. This is valid at 6 a.m. on Saturday. And we have a weak low pressure system moving through New England. So that'll bring a frontal system through with it. Before that occurs, though, Friday night into Saturday, look at how high the dew points are going to get. I mean, it's going to be uncomfortable out there Friday afternoon. The dew points rise into the 60s. And then Friday night, the dew points are in the mid to upper 60s. This is a tropical air mass. It's highly anomalous moisture. In fact, our moisture content as this system comes through Friday morning is running about 400% of normal in the atmosphere as this system comes through. And then, so your dew points are going to rise it's going to be uncomfortably humid out there. And then look at Saturday, though. Once that system shifts through, a frontal boundary comes flying through, and we'll see the return of drier air after that. And I think that's an important thing to note with this system is that it comes through Friday night into early Saturday morning. We get one more round of rain, and then the majority of Saturday at this point looks pretty nice. In fact, we'll still have some residual warmth laying around in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So the weather models are suggesting that Saturday afternoon is going to feel like the mid to upper 60s in terms of temperature, and our dew points will be falling into the 50s and 40s as the afternoon goes on. So Saturday itself could be a really, really nice day once we get all this tropical crap out of here on Friday. In addition to the rainfall and obviously the potential for rain and localized flooding as that rain comes through, we're also going to be watching the wind speeds closely because this system does have an impressive low-level jet stream with it. So Friday afternoon, we're looking at the possibility of strong wind gusts, especially near the area coasts. If we zoom in here on the New York City metro area and look at what the models are suggesting, this is a strong southerly wind, maybe west of southerly, but generally southerly into the New Jersey and Long Island coastlines here, even into parts of Connecticut as well. This is impressive wind, and the wind gust potential could be fairly substantial along the coast as this system comes through. But you'll notice Saturday morning after this, I got the hiccups of too much coffee this morning. After this comes through Friday night into Saturday, watch the wind direction flip around to westerly, right? So Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon, we have a westerly, northwesterly wind coming in, and that is the change that's going to usher in all of that dryness. Before that, it's really Friday afternoon into Saturday morning when we have this deep southerly tropical flow coming up into the area. And that will eventually flip around to west-northwesterly Saturday into Sunday as this system gets out of the area. So again, let's just back up and look at this one more time and check out really what's happening here, break it down. So we have this tropical system. We know the jet dynamics are going to help expand this precipitation. It's going to come up here Friday afternoon. We'll get one round Friday afternoon to Friday evening, another round very early morning Saturday, and then that'll clear out of here by Saturday. It looks like a very nice day. But behind that nice day on Saturday is an Arctic front. And so this system is going to drag some much colder air in with it. If we look at the temperatures from an anomaly perspective, here's Saturday afternoon. It's very warm for this time of year. And then Sunday, we get colder air, colder than normal air, coming in here for Sunday into Monday. It looks much chillier Sunday into Monday behind this storm system. So stick with us. We'll have a lot more updates as we go through the next couple of hours and days. Obviously here on Patreon, you'll get these videos first. You'll get the ability to ask us questions. If you want to have an interactive discussion, we'll be happy to answer your questions on these videos as well as we get a little closer. And then the next story is going to become that cold air behind this system as we move into the early part of next week. These videos are going to continue all winter long, just the first of many. Thank you so much for supporting us and allowing us to do what we love. It is not lost on us how cool it is that you guys support our little community here and allow us to do what we love every day. We'll be back with more very soon. Have a great morning, guys.